Hello everyone, my name is Daniel Pyatt and welcome to my YouTube channel. My goal is to help as many martial artists as possible in their journey and study of Jiu-Jitsu, whether you're a complete beginner or an experienced martial artist. I do weekly videos, so if you like and enjoy this video, then please click subscribe so you're going straight to your homepage. This is the fourth and final part in our little mini-series looking at different applications of stances. So in our first video, we looked at sort of the general principles of stances. In our second video, we looked at the specific application of Nikko-Ashi Dachi, and in our third video, we looked at the specific application of Kokutsu Dachi or back stance. And this week, we're going to look at Shiko Dachi. So Shiko Dachi is pretty fundamental as a stance. It's found in almost all karate systems, as opposed to say Kokutsu Dachi, which in some systems is used, in some systems it isn't found at all. Some systems will favour Fudo Dachi over Shiko Dachi, but to me, Shiko Dachi is the feet 45 degrees, knees out, spine nice and straight in like a typical box shape. How low you go depends very much upon your own flexibility. So we're going to look at a couple of different applications of this nice and quickly. Okay. So one of the first things, going back to what we talked about in week one, is the fact that stances are optimal. They demonstrate the optimum movement of the technique. So for example, we talked about before that I would use Shiko Dachi as this optimal drop of the body. So that I do come to quite a low and a deep stance, but I use that to pull my opponent forward. So even if it's something as simple as my opponent's grabbed, I'm just going to step and I'm going to drop. It's to bring my opponent's weight forward so that I can then affect another technique. So we've looked at that example before. But Shiko Dachi also, and one of the other things we talked about, is that stances enable good posture. And Shiko Dachi is all about posture. If you have a Shiko Dachi that's like this and the spine is forward, then structurally you're very, very weak. And there are lots of techniques that rely on this. So a couple of examples. The first one would be Maya Kinsakami, which is front testicle throw or front scoop. So as the punch comes, you can block, hit, come in, and then throw. So you can see my position is Shiko Dachi, and I use the power of the legs and my posture to affect the throw. If I do this wrong, so it really doesn't matter how you block, but if I'm here and my spine is bent, then I'm never going to pick up my opponent. So I need to get to here so my spine is straight and use my knees so that I'm nice and strong. Okay, so think about the principles you have if you're a weightlifter. Very similar. You want to make sure you have good posture. You don't want to have a skewed posture. So Shiko Dachi enables this. Another very similar technique would be Katagurumi or shoulder wheel. Now I will say as a warning on this one, there is a risk that occasionally we get a girlish scream of this technique, so you have to be warned. So as the punch comes, so shoulder wheel, we take your opponent straight over the top. I'm very impressed you managed to resist the girlish scream this time. So when you do that, we do it slowly, right? As you enter, as I'm here, again my spine needs to be straight and I'm using this Shiko Dachi. And I use the power of my legs and the pull to get my opponent into the position that I need, and then complete the throw. So that's another example of Shiko Dachi being used. One final example is again using the posture. We can use it to affect a technique sometimes called haragatami. Hara being your center in Japanese. So your hara is a region that sort of goes from your navel down to just below your knees and encompasses the entire of your center. So for this technique, I'm going to do it facing away from you to start. So an example would be when you turn and drop to use the arm lock. So I use my Shiko Dachi, I've got my choke that I can put on, but I use my hara, push the stomach forward to get the arm lock. If I want to make it stronger, obviously I can pull the arm against the belly, but if I'm in the right place, I can just sit, and then I can do whatever I want as an additional thing. So, there's 4 really quick, really simple applications of Shiko Dachi that use it very much as an optimal movement and use it where you need really good posture. I hope you enjoyed this little mini-series, and like always, if there's something you want us to do a little mini-series on or a single video, don't forget to put it in the comments below and just share your general thoughts about this video. If you want to check out more of our videos, you can click the links here and here, and you can subscribe by clicking the link in the bottom right hand corner or by clicking my face, which is around about here. I will see you next week, guys, for another video.